got books? Do we got more books? Yeah, we got books. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Nuggies here in the background, but my name is Rochelle. I have a disability and I also read a variety of books. And today what we're gonna do is do some book mail. So as you would have seen in one of my past book haul videos, I'm not doing any huge book hauls that are purchased by my own money. However, I am still gonna do publisher book mail. So you still do get book hauls to some extent here on the channel. And let me tell you, we have a lot. There's a lot of books in here. So they've been piling up yet again in our bedroom, and I figured now would be a great time to go through them all because I also do have some boxes and they have honestly been staring me down and I really want to go through them. But first, we're gonna go through some of the other packages like these and see what we have in there. And I'm so excited to go through them with you all, so let's get started and open them up. So first one we have here is She Fell Away by Lenore Nash. This is a book that I got from Atria, and let's go and read a little bit about it. I usually go and read at least like the first couple of sentences or the first paragraph about a book, just so you know what the book is going to go and cover, but I'm not going to read all the information. It says, missing, but is she gone forever? Lake Harlow may not appear to be your typical government employee. With the number of skeletons in her closet exceeding the tattoos on her skin, she moves to a new country every few years to keep one step ahead of her personal demons. After 2 grueling years working in Cambodia, Lake's desperate for a break, and a new posting to sleepy Wellington, New Zealand seems like a dream come true. Ooh, so this seems like it's a thriller book. This is a published book already, so you will be able to go and read it. And also, because I completely forgot to mention, if you are curious about how you can go and get book mail like I do have a video that I will link up here that kind of explains my experience and what I've learned and how it's possible for you to go and get this really amazing opportunity as well. It's something that I'm so grateful for and get a little bit like dumbfounded each time where I feel like I need to pinch myself that I'm getting all these amazing books in the mail. All right, next one. These are always so hard to open. So I had to go and double check, but this is actually a book that I do already have an arc for. So I might have to go and see what I can go and do, but I know sometimes that publisher programs are okay with people going and leaving these books that they have in little free libraries, as long as it's something that they're not going and like selling the arc or anything like that. So I might need to do some research on my end, but I did double check because I do have a copy of this book already. So it says, the women of the Novak family were born with a gift. Each of them can, just once, turn back time. Lauren has known since she was 15 that her mother, Marcella, saved Lauren's father from a deadly car accident. Dave is alive and happy and out on the Malibu waves. But ever since Marcella, her power spent, has lived in fear of what she won't be able to reserve. Her own mother, Sylvia, is her polar opposite, a free-spirited iconoclast with a glamorous past she only hints at. While Marcella and Sylvia still live under one roof, Lauren has kept her distance. I have heard really good things about this book from the people that have had the chance to read it already. I do have a few ideas planned where I'm going to specifically read arcs for like a different variation of my Love It or Lose It series, so maybe this will be one I can sneak in because it's really not that thick. Ooh. Okay, next we have Vanished in the Crowd, and this is by Reese Bowen and Claire Broyles. I haven't heard about this one at all, and this is from Minotaur. New York is busier than ever as 2 million visitors come to the city to witness the Hudson-Fulton celebration in 1909, marking the 300th anniversary of Henry Hudson's discovery of the Hudson River. Exhibitions, carnivals, and a marvelous display of the wonders of the latest invention, electricity, across the city make for 2 straight weeks of celebrations, which Molly and her family, along with their friends Sid and Gus, are excited to enjoy. But Molly is secretly dealing with financial troubles. She is too proud to ask her friends for a loan, but when they want to hire her as a detective, she jumps at the chance. I'm really curious to try this out, and this is one of my favorite things with the books I get from this publisher. It's set up in this way, and it just kind of makes it feel like even more special and surreal. Like any arc that I receive in the mail is something I'm eternally grateful for. It's something that is just so amazing, and I love getting to go and look at my little arc shelf that I keep a lot of these physical arcs I receive, and just looking at them always makes me so happy. So I'm excited to check this one out, and I have a friend that if I like this one, I can't wait to go and tell her about it, because this would be right up her alley to go and check out when the book publishes. This was one I was really excited and intrigued for. So this one is called A Slow and Secret Poison by Carmela Laucus. And this one is from Atria. I just really love the art on the cover. I'm always guilty of just being drawn to covers that have some sort of nature aspect on it, especially if there's a portrait of a person. I don't know what it is, I love them so much. So this says, "We are cursed here at Harfold, whether you believe in that sort of thing or not." In 1925, V. Morgan arrives at Harfold Manor, a once grand country estate in Wiltshire, to begin her new post as gardener. She hopes the crumbling manor will offer her a fresh start, far from the darkness of her past. But the place is shadowed by grief and memories of long-faded glory, its rooms haunted by the only surviving member of the family, Lady Arabella Lacey. I don't know why, but this reminds me of The Haunting at Briarwood Manor. I think that's the name on Netflix. It's a Netflix show that I absolutely love so much, and just reading the back of this book kind of gives me those vibes. So I'm excited to check this one out. I might have to see if I can sneak it in soon, because I feel in the mood to read a book that has this premise right now. Ooh, this looks really intriguing. This is Any Means Necessary by Lila Heron. She is confident, vibrant, and full of life. He is calculated, practical, and finds emotions messy. When his work unexpectedly brings them together, she tries to resist being consumed by him, but he'll make her his by any means necessary. Ooh, this sounds really intriguing. I feel like this is probably going to be like maybe a dark romance, which honestly I'm reading Daggermouth right now, and this might be a book that kind of gives me some of those vibes, but not necessarily like the enemies to lovers dystopian piece that Daggermouth has. So I'm curious on this one. This might be what I pick up, especially if I'm still like in a little bit of that mood, depending on how much Daggermouth wrecks me. We shall see. This next book is from Daw, and this is Masquerade by L.R. Lamb. This is going to be the third book in the series. I think it's a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's book 3 of the Micah Gray trilogy. Now, unfortunately, I can't go and really give you any information on this because it would be spoilers, but I believe that the main character is either trans or non-binary. So this series might be one, considering I have all 3 books now, this might be one that I end up going and reading during Pride Month. And the really cool thing with them is when you go and line up all the books together, it goes and completes this like little carnival tent picture, which is so cool. Ooh. Oh, this cover's so fun. So this is The Devoted by Catherine Cho, and I just realized I have been failing horribly to go and tell you when these arcs come out. This one comes out July 14th of this year. I can't believe I've been forgetting that. I think I've just been so overwhelmed and excited to go and open up all these packages. Alright, so it says, in this emotionally transportive literary debut about family and fate, a young Korean woman whose father is a leader in an infamous crime organization becomes entrenched in the dangerous world she once sought to escape. Raised in Hong Kong by their Korean grandmother in a quiet village, Yoon-ha and her brother Solomon live a sheltered life. Their father is a dragonhead, a leader within the infamous criminal organization of the Triads, while their beloved grandmother does her best to shield the children from the constant hum of violence and fear that surrounds their family and his world. Yoon-ha only has Solomon and their one permitted companion, a boy named Kai, for company. Ooh. This sounds really interesting. Like I said, I really love the cover, and I feel like this might be a great book to maybe read as read with like Jade City, just to like get those Asian kind of gangster vibes and everything. Jade City is another book that I really want to read, so maybe I could kind of like have an Asian specific book reading vlog or something like that. So then we have The Last Time We Saw Her by Jacqueline Goldis, and this one comes out June 16th of this year, and it is an Atria book as well. 10 years ago, a group of teenage American summer campers came to the lush and isolated Azores for a rugged 5-week hiking and heritage trip. When a clue related to a local legend of buried gold surfaced, the summer devolved into a frenzied treasure hunt and culminated in the disappearance of it girl camper Sydney Azule. Sydney was never seen again, rumored to have been murdered, and the gold never found. Ooh. I'm really intrigued on this one. Ooh. Okay, then we have Nowhere by Alison Gunn. This is already a book that has been released. A family broken by tragedy, a town poisoned by fear, a darkness in the woods that wants them all. After the death of her child, Rachel Kenman throws herself into her career as police chief of a small Virginia town. Meanwhile, her husband Finn, a washed-up writer whose alcoholism led to the devastating tragedy that changed everything, struggles to redeem himself. The love for their 2 daughters is the only thing keeping Rachel and Finn together, but the girls have demons of their own. Ooh, this sounds really good, and it's also a pretty thin read. This would be so quick to go through. I really want to pick this one up soon. There's already so many books in this pile that I'm so excited to check out. I really need to like get into reading and like really get to it. All right, so we have this red package here. I have no idea what's in here. Ooh, okay. The Fall of Tris Henley, Rumors Can Be Deadly by Jennifer Graham. And this is a Wednesday book. So all it takes to ruin someone's life is the stroke of a key. Just ask Iris Henley. Her life is destroyed when someone posts an anonymous message on our high school's gossip forum. Iris Henley is a killer. I've been too scared to come forward until now, but I saw her murder Rocky and Lynette last summer. Just like that, Iris loses everything. Her reputation, her friends, her hope of getting into college on scholarship. Even possibly her freedom once the police start to investigate. I have not heard about this book at all. I'm very curious, but I'm also a little bit worried because I feel like sometimes when the book is specifically set in a high school, it's sometimes a little bit hard for me to fully get into it, especially when there seems to be teenage drama. I am a 30-year-old, so it has been some time since I've been in high school, but depending on how it's written and how the story flows, this could be something that I easily could eat up. Ooh, okay, I totally forgot that I was getting this one. So this is an uncorrected bound manuscript. This is the first one that I've ever received like this. So this is When Dealing with Dragons by Dana Swift. Rivals to lovers, delicious tension and angst, short king love interest, oh my god, that's fun, endangered dragon sanctuary, metal magic meets class warfare, and fake hating equals real feelings. Some hearts aren't meant to be tamed. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Like I said, I've never received an unbound manuscript before, so this is so cool. This is definitely just like a prized possession. I do have an ARC for this book on NetGalley, but I have been kind of in the mood where I just prefer to read books physically, so I'm so glad that I have a physical version that I can go and read, and this one is on sale this summer. Oh, that is so fun. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. That is like a new prized possession, and I can't wait to show Charles later when they're home. Then I have this really fun PR box. So there's a couple of fun items in it, one being some chocolate. It says You Did Nothing Wrong by C.G. Drews, so just the information on the cover of the book. And then I got a fun little keychain, but let's open this up. It's like a little keychain that also is a measuring tape. And then I'm always nervous whenever I do that. Finn is just watching on the sidelines and he's like, what's that? That's so cool. And it says home is where the horror is. I love that. That is so fun. I probably won't put it on my keychain because there's already so many things on it, but this might go like specifically on my horror shelf. But we have the book here. So this is You Did Nothing Wrong by C.G. Drews. I believe this is like their adult debut. They have a few other books that are more specifically like YA horror. So this is really exciting to go and get a copy of this. Oh my gosh, and there's even, okay, so we got more goodies. We also have character art, which I love. I really need to go and put all of my character art together and like hang it up somewhere. And then I have like this little sheet in the book and it says, yeah, this is the adult debut novel that's equal parts haunted house horror and domestic suspense. The walls are closing in on her perfect new life. Single mother Elodie's life has become a fairy tale. She's met Bren, equal parts golden retriever, devoted and sinfully handsome. He's whisked her and her autistic son Jude away to the crumbling family house he's renovating. She has a new husband, a new home, and a new baby on the way. Everything is perfect. Until Jude claims he can hear voices in the walls. Oof. I am so curious about this one. I truthfully haven't read any of this author's other books. Like, I think I have a few of them on NetGalley that I just haven't had the chance to go and read because truthfully I sometimes go and forget if it's not something that I can physically see. So I'm glad I have a physical copy because I definitely will not be forgetting about this book and will pick it up as soon as I can. Then a few other packages. Thanks. This one is wrapped up. Oh my gosh, I have not gotten a Bloomsbury book in a long time. So we have a Bloomsbury book, and honestly, getting books from them is kind of like few and far between. It was the first ever publisher program I was ever accepted in, but they're a little bit more on the competitive side. So whenever you get a book from them, it's usually always a pleasant surprise. And I got the sticker, so I'm definitely going to keep that and put it in my reading journal. Ooh, okay. So this one is The Salt King by Natasha Pulley. Something in the Deep is Waking, and it looks like this one comes out July 13th. A riveting apocalyptic fantasy from the beloved author of The Hymn to Dionysus and The Watchmaker of Filigree Street. Jesuit priest Evelyn Broken was born into a mining family in Herdwater, a small isolated salt town in England. At 16, after a mining disaster killed his family, he fled. When a fellow priest is miraculously healed, only to then be turned to salts after a visit to Hordwalter, I don't think I'm saying that name right, Evelyn is set to investigate. When he arrives, the town's doctor, Jericho, tells him that the priest is not the only one experiencing strange cures, and may not be the only one in danger from a substance in the mine that the locals call saltlight. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard too many people talk about this book. It is a little bit on the chunkier side, but I am really curious to go and check it out. I don't think I've read anything by this author either, so this will be really fun. Okay. Last package, and then we have a box to open. Then we have Disability Intimacy, Essays on Love, Care, and Desire, edited by Alice Wong. This is actually a book that I've really been wanting to go and read because, as some of you here on my channel might know, I do have a disability, at least a physical disability that you're able to see, which is ectrodactyly. It's a limb difference that basically excludes some of your fingers and toes and things like that. It is genetic, and it was something that I got from my dad, and he did not get it from any of his other family members, at least no one that we're aware of, unless it's someone else like further in the family tree. But this has been one that I have really, really wanted to read just because there is a lot more disability books that have become more available as I've become an adult. When I was a lot younger, there wasn't really anything that had good representation and positive representation for that matter. So I have heard really good things about this one. It says, what is intimacy? More than sex, more than romantic love. The pieces in this stunning and illuminating new anthology offer broader and more inclusive definitions of what it can mean to be intimate with another person. Explorations of caregiving, community, access, and friendship offer us alternative ways of thinking about the connections we form with others, a vital reimagining in an era when forced physical distance is at times a necessary norm. I'm so curious on this one. I know that Disability Awareness Month or Disability Pride Month is going to be coming up here in the next few months. I do want to get a few more disability rep books read so that I can put together not only a list of recommendations, but then also some other books that are on my radar that I really want to pick out. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, definitely go and subscribe so that you can be notified when I do have that video posted. All right, last is going to be this box from Penguin Random House. I have no idea what this is, and it's truthfully been staring me down ever since it got here in the mail. Oh, okay. That's really interesting. It was this huge box for just this one book. So this is a manga, and it is My Brother's Husband by Gengoro Tagami. And I haven't really heard anything on this one, but I was really intrigued. So it has this cute little photo in the back, and it says, not only is My Brother's Husband very touching, it's also for the non-Japanese reader unexpectedly fascinating. Gay life remains largely closeted in Japan, and Tagami's complex but deftly told story seeks to examine the effect such secrecy has not only on those who must live it, but also on their wider family relationships. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay, so this is probably going to be another book that I choose to go and, this is going to be another book that I choose to keep for Pride Month, just because I do want to read a lot of books that highlight those voices and those stories. So this is going to be one that I plan on reading then, but I really like the art style. With a lot of my manga that I have read in the past, I tend to be very particular about what the art looks in the book. So I do like how this is. This will be a lot of fun. I have to be careful though, because there were a few photos that kind of seemed not too suitable for work. So yeah, this will be really fun. It's also very thick, and I feel like my partner will be really excited to check this one out as well. But with that book, that is the last one that we have in this book haul. Or that is the last book that we have in this book mail video. Let me go and count up all the books that we've gotten and let you know how many we have. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 15 books in this really fun book mail haul. There's a lot of good books that we've gotten in this batch, and I'm so excited to start reading and picking up some of these books. I'm just still absolutely floored and baffled that I'm lucky enough to go and be a part of these publisher programs and get to read all of these books. One of my goals here when I did start my booktube channel is that I do want to highlight a lot of voices for books that maybe people haven't heard about and they only hear about the more viral books. So these videos are always really fun because they're new books to me, but they might also be new books to you as well. So yeah, this is really exciting, and I'm gonna have a hard time figuring out which books I'm gonna read, but I do plan on doing specific love it or lose it videos that will go and highlight a lot of the arcs or the book mail that I receive. That way it can be specific videos about books that you might want to know more about before they get released, and so you know if you want to go and add it to your TBR one day. But if you got to this point of the video and you'd like to support me and you don't know what to comment, I'd say let's go and leave a dragon. This is my very first uncorrected bound manuscript, which is so exciting. So yeah, leave a dragon down in the comments below. But if you liked this video and enjoyed this video, I usually put one out, I think like every month or every other month for all the book mail that I get. I usually go and kind of collect it so I can open it up either towards the end of the month or the middle of the month. It's always a fun time, and I think a lot of people do really enjoy them. So if you liked this, please go and leave a like, possibly go and subscribe, and also there is a feature as well where you can go and hype up a video. That just really helps small creators like me and helps go and promote their videos to other people that might not always be on this side of the tiny corner of the internet that I'm on. But I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I always wrap up my videos with this little reminder to always remember that you're worthy and capable of amazing things. Bye, friends. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.